joining me again for another video. In this one I'm going to do another drawing with Procreate on the iPad Pro, and this time I'm going to try and explain a little bit better how I actually came up with the picture and how I finished it, what brushes I used and canvas size and all that. But I'm still making it up as I'm going a little bit, so I'm still getting used to some things. I keep looking at other people's Procreate drawings online and I just feel like I've got such a long way to go, but I'm still enjoying it. This is the piece that I finished. Before we get into explaining a little bit about it, I'll put some stats on the screen about the canvas size, how many layers I used and all that good stuff, and then we'll get into the time-lapse video. Okay, so straight away I picked a custom canvas size and created one that was 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters, which makes the page roughly the same size as A3 paper. And then the thought behind that was that if I ever did want to print any of these pictures out once I was finished, A3 would be a good size to start with, because if I printed any smaller it would not lose quality, and I could go slightly bigger, and again I don't think it would affect quality that much. Now, looking back over this video, it does look as though I knew exactly what I was going to paint just because of the speed of the painting. This piece took me like 20 hours, and I've edited out a lot of the bits where I just keep trying things and deleting it and trying things and deleting it. The only thought I did have going into this piece was that I wanted to create like a giant rock, some sort of big rock like a volcano or something like that to begin with. And originally I was going to have a small settlement or a small like little camp set at the bottom of the rock, but then that soon changed as I was getting into the picture. One thing I need to try and get better at is making these rocks look more three-dimensional. I was struggling to do that with this, but I did. In the end I was going for an effect of like moon rock, or maybe something that looked like it had been carved by an ancient civilization or something to that effect. That's why I went in with these squiggly lines and then started to build shade in around that to try and make it look like indentations or like a negative relief that had been carved out of the rocks. So I predominantly used the jagged brush in the painting section. There's no real reason for choosing that brush, it's just that I haven't got around to looking at them all yet. And this brush seemed quite organic. It actually felt quite like a paintbrush in as far as the textures that it was leaving on the canvas. So for rocks and grass and trees, especially later on, I felt like it was really good. Another thing that it was really good for was the snow, which I put at the top of these mountains in the back. And to achieve that, I approached it like I would painting mountains on a canvas with actual paint. I would draw the outline, then add shade to one side, and then add the snow or the peaks to the opposite side where the sun will be hitting. Now, to make the snow look like, well, try and make it look as much like real snow as I possibly could, I painted it with just close to white, but not quite pure brilliant white. It was a very light version of the blue or purple that was used for the mountaintops. And then I would use the smudge tool to smudge the white down the mountain so it would gradually become thinner and thinner, much like I thought the snow would look like in real life as it melted the further down it got towards the base. But before I even got to that stage, you can see that the longest part of the painting was this rock formation somewhere in the middle of the picture. The background does begin to grow a bit further back, and then I always did want to put something in the foreground, but I could never quite work out what it was going to be right up until near the end. So here I am doing the snow on the mountaintops. You can see it doesn't look like snow to begin with at all. So I drag the snow down towards the base with the smudge tool and then use the erase tool to push it back up and meet in the middle. And I thought it looks quite good by the time I was finished with it. So yeah, for as far as the foreground goes, I had no idea what I was going to do. I thought I was going to do a path here, and then in the foreground maybe like a traveller, some sort of traveller like a horse and carriage. In the end, I messed around with the hue and the colour balance and changed this path into a river by turning it blue. I think it gives gives the image a more organic feel. I love the way it's turned out, actually, the river. But that's what you can do with Procreate, which you can't do really so much with painting on real canvas. You can just change the colour of things and then go back on it and delete things from the canvas. So I don't know, part of me does feel like it's cheating, but I mean, it's not. It's its own art. And I've got a long way to go to get a lot better, actually. So in this foreground, I built this like field, and to get the effect of the grass in the very front of the picture, I used the touch-up section on the brushes, and then I used short hair, I believe. And then for the dots of paint on the top, I can't remember exactly what I used for the little flower petals. It may have been like an airbrush, I'm not sure. Now, clouds are something that I really would like to get better at, but I've got a long way to go before I can get to the level which I'm seeing online. All these other great artists using Procreate do amazing clouds and sky scenes, and I really want to be able to do that myself. It's just going to take me a long time to get there. So I settled on this robot type figure instead of the horse and carriage. It seems to fit in with the type of drawings that I normally do. This sci-fi type of feel. And I used a lot of the new features on the latest Procreate update 5X in order to achieve the hologram in the left hand of the robot. I used the glitch, and I can't remember what else I used, but yeah, glitch I used a lot. I do really like this character with the glass sphere for the head. I could see myself using this again. It's actually really easy to draw the head, as characters aren't my strong point at all. So the fairies and the lights on the suit are some of the best things in the picture, as far as I think anyway. But yeah, this is the painting coming to an end now, so I hope you enjoy what you've seen. And you stick around for more videos in the future. So if you do like what you see, please just subscribe and like and all that. And I'll see you on this channel for the next one. Bye.